Okay, so here we are picking up about a month later from where I left off, and this is like the fourth time I've done this video. I keep running out of memory card. I have to start over. I can't pause and do stuff like edit with my camera. So there's only the end of two, the second motor. As I was saying, it was stolen from me and I had to recover it, and that was not easy to do at the time. I'm sure it is now because of the HD collection. And then we got Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence, and the only reason I picked this up was for the second disc, and I'll show you why in a little while. I'm not a big fan of this series, and I never did really get into this third game. I've only played the first two all the way through. And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 Mutant Nightmare. It's a nightmare. But you can unlock the arcade game of the second game, Turtles in Time. Anyway, Stretch Panic. This is for treasure completists only. This is not a very good game. What can I say? Pick it up if you dare. Capcom versus SNK 2. Don't like this one as much as I do the first, but I do like the large roster of characters. It has a character from Final Fight 2. It has a character from Street Fighter 1. It's not very common unless you're playing a Street Fighter Alpha game or Street Fighter 1. I wonder why they don't remake that one in an HD version. They should remake Street Fighter 1. Neo Geo Battle Coliseum. This is kind of like Capcom Fighting Evolution, except better, and it's with SNK characters. And I really recommend picking this up. It has characters from all sorts of games from the SNK library of Neo Geo games. Fatal Fury Battle Archives Volume 1, which has Fatal Fury, Fatal Fury 2, Fatal Fury Special, and Fatal Fury 3, and definitely worth picking up. Fatal Fury Battle Archives Volume 2, which has the Real Bout games, Real Bout Fatal Fury, Real Bout Fatal Fury Special, and Real Bout 2, the newcomers. This is not one I'm too familiar with because I didn't really dig into this one very much, but I'm pretty familiar with a lot of SNK fighting games, except for those, because I don't think I remember playing those in the arcade, so yeah. Not having a Neo Geo and having these available is a great thing. Art of Fighting collection, or anthology rather. This is an Art of Fighting 2, Art of Fighting 3, and Path of the Warrior. All three games, one disc. Really all I have to say about that. World Heroes Anthology. This is hilarious. Hilarious series of games. This is so silly, so goofy, the characters are ridiculous, and that's primarily the reason why I like this game series, is because of how absurd it is. This has World Heroes 2, World Heroes 2 Jet, and World Heroes Perfect. So yeah, again, I endorse all of these SNK Playmore collections, and this is kind of like a mixed tape, if you will, of these games. It has Art of Fighting, it has Samurai Showdown, it has Metal Slug, it has King of Fighters 94 and World Heroes. This is SNK Arcade Classics Volume 1, and sadly there was never a Volume 2 because there is a wealth of SNK games to make into a compilation titled Volume 2, but I don't think that'll ever happen. Some fans made one called Volume 0, but you know, if it wasn't released officially, it doesn't quite count. So here's Samurai Showdown Anthology. This has Samurai Showdown 1 through 6. That's a lot of games for one disc, and this is just a fine example of all of the games that you can get for the PS2. I mean, just a handful of these, and you have a huge collection already. And there's the King of Fighters collection, the Orochi Saga, which contains 5 of the King of Fighters series games. It has King of Fighters 94, 95, 96, 97, and 98. 98 is probably the best out of all of them. Even all the ones that have been released up to current date, I think 98 is where it peaked. And that was also released on the Dreamcast when it launched in Japan. And in the US it was released as King of Fighters 99, and you can get a remade version of King of Fighters 98 that SNK Playmore released on the PS2, and I have that in my wish list on Amazon. Here's R-Type Final, which is a fine example of a PS2 game. This is amazing graphics, excellent music. You can you can unlock like 100 different ships, including bad guy ships from the series, and it's just really cool. You can unlock the ship from Image Fight. A lot of fun. And we got Gradius 3 and 4. These are the arcade versions. Very cool. They each have their own CG intros, which are very cool and specific to each game. Here is Gradius 5. This, I believe, was made by Treasure, and it's probably hard to find now, but pick it up, seek it out, do whatever if you don't have it. It's really good. Really good music, really good graphics, really good game. And another Konami classic, an instant classic. This is a Contra Shattered Soldier for the PS2. This is a very cool game. Stay away from Contra Neo, but go after Shattered Soldier. That is a good game. Star Wars Bounty Hunter. This is a Jango Fett video game. You use Jango Fett. You can collect bounties on characters. If they're wanted, you can capture them alive, or if they're wanted dead, you can kill them and collect the bounty on the dead enemy. And it was leading into Attack of the Clones. So the issues that that game has are probably due to deadlines. Here's Star Wars The Force Unleashed for the PS2, which is a different game from the next gen versions, the PS2, the PS3 and the Xbox 360. The scenarios play out differently. There are some more training areas in this game. Definitely worth picking up just to see the differences if you haven't played that one. It's also available on the Wii. Those two versions are the same, except for the Wii uses the remote for motion sensor stuff. Here's Ghost Rider. This is not a very good game. It's a ripoff of Devil May Cry, and it was a budget game, I think. Wipeout Fusion, definitely worth having if you own a PS2 and you like racing games. I don't really do racing games, but I do like these games, the Wipeout series, because they have weapons and they have really cool designs for the ships, and it was just this blew me away on the PS1 when I first played the original PS1 version of Wipeout. And yeah, I've been addicted to this series for a long time. So here we have Midway's Arcade Treasures Volumes 1, 2, and 3. Now, I have this on GameCube as well, and it's definitely worth picking up for the arcade classics that are on there, like Spy Hunter and Defender and whatever else is on there. There's a lot of games on these. This one has newer games than that volume, which is there's Mortal Kombat 2 and 3, and it has Primal Rage and Rampage World Tour, and it also has older games like 720 Degrees. Oh wait, that's in the other one, never mind. It has Zybots, and it has Pit Fighter and Wizard of War. That might be the oldest game on here. Wizard of War and Cosmic Cruiser, I think, might be the oldest games on here. And then the third volume is pretty lame. This is almost all racing games. This has Hard Drivin', Hydro Thunder, and I even think one of these is a Dreamcast game, which is San Francisco Rush 2049, and it also has Stun Runner, which is the only reason I actually bought this, because of Stun Runner. Got Taito Legends Volume 1 and 2. This is about 60 games, and there's a lot of games that are classic, a lot of games that are just like, what? And yeah, it has, this version has Rastan and Space Invaders and some very true classics. The main thing that sucks is that, you know, there's Operation Wolf on here, but it doesn't support the light gun. And this one has Rastan 2, it has Dungeon Magic, and it has Darius Gaiden, and The Legend of Kage, and Kix, and Space Invaders 91 and 95. And I didn't really know there was a 95, I don't think. But I did have 91 for the Turbo Graphics, and that is excellent. Capcom Classics Collection and Volume 2. So these are excellent. This has a lot of classic games. These were all on the PS1 on separate discs. There was about 5 of them called, I can't remember, Capcom Generations or something like that. It was a lot like the Namco Museums. But yeah, this was finally released in the US on one disc, and that was cool. And then the Volume 2 has amazing games such as Strider and Knights of the Round, and it's got Black Tiger, and it has Captain Commando. A lot of cool games. Those are worth having. We got Tekken 4, which is great in and of itself, but it also has unlockable Tekken 1, Tekken 2, and I think Tekken 3 arcade games. Got Nina Williams' Death by Degrees. It's a Tekken spin-off. Not very good, but I am kind of a Tekken completist at the moment. And here's Tekken 5, a very wonderful game in and of itself. Marvel's Ultimate Alliance. This is spun off from the X-Men Legends games, and this is not a very good conversion of it. The graphics on it are pretty sad. It's a lot like Gauntlet in the way it plays. It reminds me of Gauntlet. And here is a rip-off collection. This is Metal Gear Solid: The Essential Collection. This is not up to snuff for my liking. This says that they're all DVDs, but they're not. I can show you what's up. The original Metal Gear spread across 2 discs, just like the PS1 version, because it is the PS1 version. It's just, this is a CD-ROM, it's not a DVD. So they actually kind of fib on the packaging. Metal Gear Solid 2, and it doesn't have the skateboarding thing, I don't think, which is, I don't think it really matters, but all of these games could be obtained pretty cheaply individually and in better versions, and especially when it comes to this one, like I showed you earlier. This does not have the second disc. It's just the one disc. The second disc, as I'm sure you all know, had the original Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2 for the MSX. And here's my favorite series, probably for the PS2, Onimusha Essentials. So you got the first 3 in this package. This box is really messed up, but that's because it was like the last one that they had at GameStop, and I got the games individual, and I just asked for the box and they gave it to me. Yeah, this is good stuff. I never did finish Onimusha 3 because it's pretty hard, but I'll get there. I will, I promise. And this is, last but not least, we got Onimusha 4, Dawn of Dreams. This is pretty cool. I haven't finished this one either, but it's a lot of fun, and this character is in Tatsunoko versus Capcom on the Wii. So maybe that might be the last we ever see of him in this series. I really would hope to see this continue, but it's not looking likely. So that concludes my PS2 collection, and I would have gone into more depth with these games, but my memory card is filling up at an alarming rate, and the last few times I went into depth, I just kept running out of time, and the camera would shut off. So that is the massive 3-part 80 game, I think 80 games total of PS2 games. And I couldn't tell you how many of those that I have not even come close to completing. So I hope you enjoyed that. You can see there's lighting down here in the basement. Isn't that great? I wonder if you can hear. That's a problem because the heater keeps going on. And yeah, that's about it. So I hope you all enjoyed watching that and listening to me babble. I've been trying to do this for a little while. And I will continue to do this until I get sick of it. And I also am going to do the third part of my Sega Genesis, Sega CD, and Master System stuff here pretty soon, once I clear some memory out on this camera. And yeah, so you guys, I'll see you next time, and I hope you enjoyed this, as I always say. And click like, subscribe, leave comments. I really appreciate any kind of feedback you got, even if it's negative. I don't care if you tell me I suck. That's fine. Thanks a lot for watching. Take care, and we'll see you soon.